Hey everyone, Michelle Frere here, and this is a pretty important video. We have a crossroads in society where we've stopped listening to learn, and we are listening to react. And the reason I do this video, the point of this video, is just because you don't believe something or you don't like something doesn't make it misinformation. And that word is thrown around on the internet like crazy right now. And the reason I do this video is because yesterday I reshared a speech I did in the House of Commons when I was a member of Parliament about the proposed legislation by the Liberals to extend MAID, medical assistance in dying, to people with mental illness. And the pushback online is the same pushback I've seen since the day that I was elected of, you're a liar, this isn't true, you're rage farming, and this is what happens. And that's why we can't move forward as a society, because we fail to recognize something as truth just because we don't like it or it's uncomfortable. This isn't something I'm making up. You can simply Google medical assistance in dying, mental illness, and you will see both the Dying with Dignity group, which is a lobbyist that is pushing for this legislation. And if you don't know what a lobbyist is, this is important to understand, because this is how a lot of policy is made. Lobbyist groups with money get in front of parliamentarians and people who make the laws to change the laws to fit what they think is important for the country. And Dying with Dignity is a lobbyist group that believes that medical assistance in dying should be extended to people with mental illness, as well as looking at extending it to people with minors. Just Google it. On the Justice website, the Conservatives were effective in pushing this legislation to March of 2027. It was supposed to come into effect in March of 2024. But after a special committee was created where we had multiple witnesses testify, many of whom doctors who said you cannot scientifically prove that it is impossible to recover from a mental illness, therefore it is not a responsible decision by government to offer MAID as a solution to mental illness, it was pushed off until March of 2027. But that doesn't mean it's not still on the table. It's still on the Justice website. That's still what's happening. And the point of this video, again, I can't stress this enough. Just because you don't believe something or you don't like it doesn't make it misinformation. I was the recipient of this and targeted greatly online when I spoke openly about parents who human traffic their children. This isn't something I made up. These are the people who work in this world told me it is. You can, again, Google it. These are not fun things to talk about. They are horrible things about humanity. Nobody wants to deal with it. And so there's this knee-jerk reaction of, you're a liar, you have some hidden agenda. And we can't move forward together as a society if we do not acknowledge that these things are happening. There is this aversion of the truth. You know, that's why everybody calls, anyway, I'm not going to go off into, I could go on and on about all these other areas that are considered conspiracy theories because people don't like it and they don't want to believe it. But that's not how you move forward. You know, one guy was like, nobody's going to offer MAID to your minor. You're a bunch of effing idiots. Watch committee. You know, people don't know what they don't know. There's so much information online. Parliament it's buried. Who wants to sit and watch 4 hours of committee? Pretty much nobody. It's there. This is the reality. And so then people say this isn't happening because they can't fathom that these things are happening. But again, I just can't stress this to you enough. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it is misinformation. It's funny, but it's not funny. You know, Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. And people don't want to know bad things. I don't blame them. It's not fun to think about. It's not fun. But you have to have these discussions. And the last thing I'll say on this is another very important part. Why are we investing in spending the money on MAID for mental illness and not the science and research to understand and treat mental illness? Have you been into a hospital lately? Have you seen, the wait times to see a doctor, a psychiatrist? And if you are even lucky to get to see a doctor, they prescribe you pills. They don't understand why. They don't understand the science because we don't even have that technology. Why are we not investing in this? Why isn't this a priority if you have this many people suffering? That should be the conversation, not, you know what? This will save us a lot of money. Here's MAID. You can't fix a problem if you don't acknowledge a problem exists.